Blade still being developed, but Kevin Feige had some really interesting things to say about the current state of the MCU and where they went wrong. Do you have notes for this story?
I don't see it. No.
Okay, it's really just kind of an X post here, but let me share this real quick. Take a look. Doomsday trailer. Now Feige took full accountability on Blade never being made with Mahershala Ali. He says, I feel like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala Ali. Let me play the video here. This is with Josh Horowitz, who will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Here we go.
How much time in therapy have you spent talking about Blade? This poor project. We just need to get this done, Kevin. How are you doing?
Therapy. Should we get into a therapy session?
Yeah, lie down. I mean, we all want it. Mahershala wants it. How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling very excited that we got Wesley back for a time in Deadpool and Wolverine, and like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala.
Is there a world where Secret Wars is 2 films?
Not this world.
No. Okay. Doomsday sticking to its release date?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay. What does the MCU look like in a nutshell coming out of Secret Wars? Is it do you consider this a reboot?
No, but I look to the comics as I always do in terms of our storytelling, and after both the Secret Wars, but particularly the Hickman Secret Wars from 10 years ago, there's a nice roadmap to where we can go.
And last thing for you, how many X-Men have you cast that I just don't know about? Are people signed on right now for X-Men actors?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a little interesting info there. What do we think?
Well, just going off the Blade comment, I'm sorry, but how stupid do you have to be to not be able to write a Blade script?
Exactly.
Like, Blade is the easiest character in comics to write, and you can come up with one decent script for Mahershala Ali. I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it. I think there was some bullshit involved. They wanted a female lead. They wanted to cut Blade. It didn't happen, and then they were just lost.
Yeah. Well, that shows you how hard it was.
Yeah, here's some more actually comments from a different interview in comments from Variety. If you could just read this X post here, Badger.
What he just said. Feige previously explained how the prolonged delay on Blade were a symptom of Marvel's over-expansion into Disney Plus streaming content, where for the very first time ever, quantity trumped quality. We didn't want to simply just put a leather outfit on him and have him start killing vampire, which is what they should have done. It had to be unique. It fell into the time when we started pulling back and saying only accept insanely great, and it wasn't insanely great at the time. We didn't feel like, as we often do, you can have a good script and make it a great script through production. We didn't feel confident that we could do that on Blade, and we didn't want to do that to Mahershala and didn't want to do that to us.
I think this is a pretty bold statement. I mean, he's really kind of, admitting they screwed up. You don't hear like studio chiefs. You don't hear James Gunn talking like that. You know what I mean?
Complete, but that's complete BS, because during all this time of this talk of Mahershala playing Blade, they put out Brave New World. They wrote, directed, and made Brave New World. During this whole time, Blade was in talks. And you're telling me they couldn't write a decent Blade script?
I wonder if Mahershala was pushing back a lot on the scripts he was getting. Maybe that could have been.
Oh, I'm sure he was. They're probably
Yeah.
shite.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying they couldn't write one decent Blade story.
They couldn't write one decent anything story, and that's what we've been getting for the last few years. And I think it just finally caught up to them, where it was one failure after the next.
They weren't trying to write Blade. They were trying to write Blade with his daughter, and then Blade with his daughter and friends, and then Blade in the 1930s that failed, and they sold the costumes to sinners. They were never actually trying to write Blade.
I mean, look, Mahershala Ali dodged a massive bullet here.
For sure.
Compared to everyone else who's had movies come out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on him that he didn't appear in a bad Blade movie.
As far as what Feige said about X-Men, though, I think I think they have one shot to get this right, man. If they fuck up the casting with X-Men, it is all over. It's completely over. And I would bet money on this.
No, I mean, what I would do is Secret Wars, you collapse everything. And you go to X-Men, you say, it's got to be the best movie. Screw woke, screw DEI. Let's tell a great X-Men story. And then let Sony continue to make Spider-Man movies while we're at it. Well, and then let's get back on the track of making money and making good movies.
And then also, I think part of the secret sauce to the success of the upcoming Spider-Man movie, which I think is going to be huge, probably bigger than the Odyssey, is it's not really all you really need to know is to be familiar with the Spider-Man story. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of homework. It only connects from the stand. It's kind of like a reboot of the concept. And finally, because I'm not a huge fan of the Tom Holland trilogy. And I think that by taking it back to its roots, making Spider-Man a street level crime fighter superhero, it's I love that. I don't like him being, Spider Tech Boy, using like Stark Tech for all this. That's not original Spider-Man to me. So I don't know. I like how it was weird to get there, but I like that that's where they're going. And I think when you look at the failure of Supergirl, which we don't talk about enough, we could do a few more videos on that.
Let's start grifting. Yes.
Yeah. Why don't we start doing that?
The one thing I am concerned about with Spider-Man, just a little bit, man, is the amount of villains in this movie, right? Because I mean, you got Scorpion, Tombstone, you have Boomerang, you have the Hand, you have.
You're gonna get a lot of montages, like in the beginning of Fantastic Four. I think it'll be all right.
If it's montages, that's fine.
That's what ruined Spider-Man 3, the Tobey Maguire one. Too many villains.
If it's montages, that's fine. I could live with that. But if it's like oversaturated, it can mess up the film.
Yeah, and it wasn't too many villains. It was the fact that he didn't want to do Venom and they forced him. Like, you easily could have done, it was 2 fucking villains. That's nothing. But when the creative doesn't want to do it and you're forcing him to, that's never a good idea.
Yeah. Marvel fans are already debating on whether Spider-Man Brand New Day is the movie that gets the MCU back on track. Kalshi's live prediction market is tracking it right now, and the odds are already giving us a pretty good read on where the hype stands. There's plenty of working in Spider-Man's favor. Tom Holland usually delivers, and a smaller, more grounded story might just be what Marvel needs after a shaky stretch. But let's be honest, critics haven't exactly been giving Marvel free passes lately. If Brand New Day plays it too safe or leans too hard on MCU homework, that score could take a hit. Want to see where the market goes? Click the link in the description or use the code FILMTHREAD to check out the Spider-Man Rotten Tomatoes market and get $10 when you trade $10. My prediction? I think it lands around 91% fresh, but not quite No Way Home territory. Think you know where Spider-Man Brand New Day will land on Rotten Tomatoes? Don't just guess, trade it. So what's your prediction?